another match here. It's game 3. Robin is on the play. We have Robin Hartshorn. Is that what that says? Okay. Versus
Hartshorn. Yep.
Joshua
and Josh
Serad.
Serad. Yep.
And it looks like Josh is on Merfolk. So we've that's the
Merfolk
second
again.
Merfolk match in a row.
Right.
That's interesting. And Maverick on the other side of the table.
Okay. Well, I'll talk to you more about this choice thing.
Yeah, we should definitely talk about that.
All right, so they're just doing mulligans.
so we can keep
So I'm
going.
asking, so do you think that people, though, go for like the flavor of the week? They're just like, hey, this is the new big fatty that they made. I really like that. I'm going to throw it in my deck.
That's part of it. Yeah, 8, 9, 10.
He's 10?
It costs
Okay.
10. So
You're literally never hard casting.
Yeah, the hard casting thing's not really happening, and it is only a 5/4.
Is he better?
I think that whole each opponent's maximum hand size is reduced by 7 is like, that's awesome. Like, you know how all those times where you're like, you know, if they don't have it, you know, you're trying to stick something, like you stick him and they don't have an answer within that one turn, like it's so rough to come back from that. Like, they literally have to draw an answer off the top of their deck, and in the meantime, you've drawn 7 cards, just like Gristlebrand. So it's like you have Gristlebrand where, you know, the advantage to Gristlebrand, not only the lifelink, because that's huge, and I think that's what really kind of puts him over the top, and why people go with Gristlebrand first, is the lifelink, and you can draw 7 at will. It's not wait until the beginning of my end step.
Which isn't that far.
No, it's not. Usually
to be
you
fair,
reanimate and say pass.
Yeah, but it is a lot farther than
immediately.
Swords to Plowshares that, you know, so.
Yeah, because you reanimate Jin-Gitaxias and say, you know, does it resolve? It resolves, and you say go, and they're like, wait, before your end step, path,
right?
Path or swords
and then
or
you've
whatever.
really
and then you're just like,
nothing.
Great, yeah, you just did nothing. So,
okay.
It's almost like as if the window has to be slightly bigger for Jin-Gitaxias, you know, like he needs to last until the end of your turn.
Beginning
there,
of
so
your end step,
beginning of your end step, so you can draw those cards. And then if you can get it to be open for their entire turn and they don't have an answer at, you know, during their upkeep, or their, you know, they don't find one on their draw step during their turn, like you've really locked up the game there. They are empty-handed.
Okay.
And drawing, hopefully, to find an answer off the top. And every turn you're drawing 7 cards. So I love Jin-Gitaxias. I think I play more of him. So now we have some actual plays on the board. Robin, Windswept Heath into Forest. This is just going to be a turn 1 Hierarch. It's my guess. You see Kira in Josh's hand.
That can do some work.
The Great Glass Spinner.
Card's so annoying.
Yes, it is. Oh, it's a green sun for
So we
Dryad
know what we're
Arbor.
getting.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting a Dryad Arbor. Now that's a manland.
It is. It's a forest dryad. Forest creature, land creature forest dryad. That's it. There it is.
All right. So, turn 1 accelerator for Robin. Hartshorn here. He's going to potentially untap with 3 mana. We see a pretty important Force of Will come off the top for Josh here.
He's going to go turn 1 Vial. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's a great start.
At least he's thinking about it. Okay, yeah, go with
turn 1
Vial.
Vial.
That is the start he wants.
Start moving things forward. We are in game 3 here.
All right, Robin untaps, draws off the top. And Cedric Phillips lamenting his losses, I think.
He is indeed, as only he can do.
Cavern of Souls from Robin. Now, does he name Merfolk? Probably not, because that's the opponent's deck. But what he does name is apparently whatever a Knight of the Reliquary is.
Nice save.
No, I'm kidding. That wasn't a save. It was actually just an intentional.
Oh, you're just
goof.
being funny.
Yeah, just being
Can you let
goofy.
me know when you're being funny so that
I'm sorry. It's like I'm addicted to being sarcastic to the point where it's really just I say a lot of stupid things. And so a vialed in. Oh no, he just cast
be vialed in.
No,
it's
not
just
yet. It's just
turn
one.
and he
It looked like he was going cast 1, vial 1, and I realized no, he just played the adept, revealed the Regery, and drew a card. So
correct.
Robin now, after resolving a Knight of the Reliquary.
He gets to untap with the Knight.
Yep, and 4 lands.
Cavernous Soul seems like it's going to do some work here. I think that would have got Snap Force of Will.
That was Jite.
That's going to get Force of Willed.
Yeah,
right?
he has to.
Yeah, you just cannot not.
I mean, he could start to try to rely on Kira, but I don't think that's. I think you just force it. You're gonna have to pick a card to exile. Yeah.
I mean, it's part of the cost.
Free.
Yeah.
And Spell Stutter Sprite is what he goes with.
Spell Stutter Sprite. They run that.
Sometimes. Looks like.
Oh, okay.
It's a 2 of. It's not generally one that you see all the time.
I mean, there are a ton of 1-drops in the format, right?
Yeah. I mean, and it's another creature that beats, even if it's a fairy and not a merfolk.
Yeah.
And you also have access to Mutavault, which can sometimes, make it counter 2-drops.
Yeah. Which covers like 60% of the format.
Yeah,
or
I mean,
something,
exactly.
80%?
Spell Stutter Sprite's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's why I love it in Modern too, with Mutavault.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I always beat the decks that run that.
Yeah.
Yeah, very easily. Lightning Bolt. It's a card.
It is.
All right. So what is Robin going to be doing here? Like, is he going to start using his Knight of the Reliquary every turn and just kind of growing it?
He's going to grow the Knight. It's currently a 3/3. He passed the turn without attacking, so I'm hoping his plan is to grow the Knight. Otherwise, he's just letting it sit there for no reason. I don't see why that would be. So,
I don't mean for this turn. I mean like the game.
Yeah.
Like, is he just going to keep growing it up until he can start bashing for big hits? How does his plan? I don't really know what his plan is as a Maverick player versus.
Pretty much, I think you just want the Knight to get kind of big, and meanwhile, like the Knight interacting with all these lands. Meanwhile, you just cast spells like you normally would, right?
And you actually get a little acceleration off the Knight.
Yeah, exactly. So here's an end of turn Knight activation from Robin, and Josh says sure.
I mean, you got to pay the cost.
Sacrifice of Plains, and a Dismember.
Dismember comes down on the Knight.
Now
the Knight is currently a 4/4.
Yeah, so that's gonna take care of it.
Unless you can get something in the yard, which I don't see how you could do that. It looks like.
Yeah, I think this is just in response to the activation here. Like he activates and has to sacrifice the plains, and then it's like, okay, so you sacrifice the plains, Dismember.
I don't know why he's even looking through his. I mean, that's going to happen, but that Knight is gone.
Yeah, I can't.
The Dismember is going to resolve first. Give the Knight -5/-5. It's going to kill it. He's going to get a second Cavern. What do you name here? Angel or something?
Could be. What is he? I wonder what he's got access to that he wants to resolve so badly.
Pride Mage? I guess that's not.
What did the first one name? Human?
Yes, Human.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty much most of the deck.
Yeah.
Ooze. Okay. Yeah. Now we know exactly what he wants to resolve.
I guess we do.
Scavenging Ooze.
It's interesting seeing Dismember in the Merfolk list because traditionally that deck had a pretty tough time dealing with a resolved creature. You know, it's like if you snuck a Tarmogoyf in somehow, they were going to have a big problem with
that was why Submerge was so key.
Yeah.
So, Stirring Wildwood from Robin.
Whoa.
I love seeing the World Wake Manlands in Legacy. You typically don't see much more than Wildwood or potentially Tar Pit in like some bug lists and things, but
Tar Pit drawn by Jason Felix.
Yeah, Jason Felix, who was here at like literally like what 12 feet that way, 20 feet that way, more like 20 feet.
I got a visual. He's wearing plaid.
Yes, I have his. I bought his art book.
The thing was cool.
Very impressive. He's actually for those of you who saw. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, he actually worked on the art for the opening sequence of that. Like David Fincher called him and said, "Hey, I like your work. I want you to do the opening sequence for Girl with the Dragon Tattoo." Like that's pretty cool.
That's pretty sick.
And
Green Sun Zenith for 3 is going to find a second Knight of the Reliquary. One's in the bin, but one is actually on the board now. So again, he can start advancing this plan. And we're going to tick up to 3, I believe, on that vial.
Yes. The Fincher movies are kind of known for their opening sequences, and so that's really it really impresses me as somebody who.
Look at that double Lord play. This is what I was talking about with the explosiveness that this deck can put down.
Yeah, he just pumped all his guys too.
Oh man, did you see that? So he played Merrill Regery with the vial.
Yeah.
Then he played Lord of Atlantis,
with
untapped
mana,
the vial.
Right, with Regery's ability.
Yes, and then
Taps it.
flashed in Kira.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
That is nasty.
It's filthy.
So this is 4 damage coming in.
Yeah, just the adept by itself is 4.
The knight,
And,
unfortunately for Robin, cannot. It would trade, but he needs to be able to get an activation going before it does more work for him. Now, is that the ooze one, or is that the human
ooze
one?
Here? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you might want to make sure you.
I mean, you should mark them,
clarify,
or at least say
or
it.
keep them separated where you're like ooze is on this side and humans on this side. So.
He's going to tap the Dryad Arbor, not concerned about leaving it up for blocks.
So, I hope he clarified that was the human one because there is a Knight of the Reliquary, and that was his only access to
is
white.
that a standstill in Josh's hand?
I didn't see, but
It could be a submerge.
Very much could be. Okay, so we think it might be submerged. Didn't quite see, but I don't know. Standstill's great against a creature deck because you kind of like the whole thing is like stick a threat. It is a standstill
okay. Though.
I guess my idea was, you stick a threat and
this
then
is a
play
fine
standstill.
spot, isn't it? Or is this not a fine spot for a standstill? I don't know.
I don't
how well
like it.
Those
knights can be. I feel like those knights can get too big, and
Okay.
the stands. I think Robin could be fine.
Yeah, you're
dealing
right.
with with just playing around with those 2 knights while the standstill sits there
You're
and
right.
stops Josh from doing anything.
Robin doesn't have any islands, so like all those merfolk can be blocked.
Yeah.
Now the Kira gets in because it has flying.
I mean, and that's actually not too irrelevant. I mean, the Kira though is a spirit. It's not a merfolk. It's just a 2/2 flyer.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is, you could stick a standstill and try to attack 8 times with the Kira.
Yeah, it's just I think what you were saying is true. Is that when you get double knights going, they can be like 8/8s, and he can just start turning them sideways.
Or he can also get Mazavith to deal with Kira, even though that would be countered the first time.
It would be.
He would have to
is not going to cut it.
He could go get Maze and Caracas and go and decide which one he wants to do, right?
But then he can just leave his vial on 3 and just revial it in. Now, it won't be able to hit for damage.
There would be this weird play where it's like Maze it, okay, that's counted, Caracas it, all right, vial it, back and forth. It would but it would end up fogging things, you know?
All right, so there's a force of will in Josh's hand now, which is that'll make good use of that standstill, potentially. I mean, because is that right? Like, is Josh seriously on 2 islands here?
Yeah, that's very strange. So
End of turn Enlightened Tutor.
for Sword of Fire and Ice.
Is that
right
what it
there.
was?
Yeah, it's on the board.
Oh, right there. Sweet.
Yeah. The Judge foil, right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
I love that. I really wish they did more promos that were old art. Although I wish they weren't foil. Not a
old
foil
art
fan.
I like.
I mean old frame.
You
that's
like
what I
the
mean.
old frame?
I think as a promo thing, I think it's great. It's a nice throwback.
Like they did it with the Dark Confidant as well.
Dark Confidant in that. Yeah, I think that's an awesome thing. I kind of wish they weren't foil, but that's my own preferences against foils. So Robin does that at the end of turn, untaps, and now I believe that Force of Will is going to just counter the sword because Josh doesn't want that sticking around. Okay, 1, 2, 3, sword.
Sword
Force
is gonna go
remove standstill.
Standstill. So he knows that he had to have top decked one of those other 2 cards in the last turn.
Yeah. And it's a pass back. Josh draws, not a land, I don't think.
So this probably does favor Robin then, right? He's going to make huge Knight of the Reliquaries. He's going to be able just to attack with one of them.
Yeah, take out like any merfolk, or just Josh is going to have to keep chump blocking.
Yep.
So it looks like this looks like an activation.
Activate, and then with that on the stack, activate the other one. I mean, he
Sacrifice
could do
his
many
Dryad
things
Arbor.
here. I'd rather keep the Dryad Arbor. Oh, that was the only thing he could sack. Never mind.
Yeah, if he wanted to do both, he
Yeah.
had to do. I mean, if he wanted to do both at once.
Yeah.
Now he could have gone with the first one, got one of the Savannas, and then used the second one.
Do you think
sacrificing
there's
the
going to be a
Savannah.
turn where he just activates that Wildwood?
Yeah,
Just
actually.
eats Kira? Which he just did.
Yeah, look at that.
Whoops.
I kind of forgot about it there, and apparently so did Josh. Like Kira attacks.
Robin didn't.
Yeah, Robin's like, okay, I'll do this, and Wildwood, and you're like, oh yeah, that land does something other than add mana.
He might have remembered that the card was there, but just forgot that Josh had access to 2 untapped
That could be it too. Yeah.
sources of mana. That was a beating.
Yeah, the Knights.
Did you see him pick it
activation.
up? He's just like, what is this? Oh,
Yeah. Oops.
that is bad news. So 2/8/8 Knight of the Reliquaries, we're being told.
And they can be
And
9/9 now
9/9.
just because of the Horizon Canopy.
So I think he's just going to start attacking with one each turn. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that. You play defense and offense at the same time. You're swinging. Josh has to start. I mean, he can take a hit here if he wants, but it's not going to get him very much value.
Robin still has to be careful though, right? Because I think doesn't Josh have 10 power right now?
Each what is it? I see 9.
3 3 3 3 4 4 2.
Oh no, you're right. I'm
4,
sorry.
3,
It is. It's 10.
Yeah.
That he does have to be careful if Josh finds something like Submerge.
Right.
To get that.
Although
knight
it's
out
not
of the way.
lethal. I think Robin's actually at 11 now because doesn't it cost a life to crack that?
I think so. Yeah.
Horizon
He
canopy?
also has Stirring Wildwood to block with though, as we
good
just saw last turn, and
Yes.
hopefully Josh remembers that too. Yeah, it sacrifice it. It doesn't cost a life. I always
So it's
get that
only
mixed
the
up
pay to
too.
life to tap it for mana?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
So
keep
he
thinking
is
it's
still 12.
both. I always think it's both. Yeah.
I do too. I don't know why.
Well, there's a second rejury, so that's a lot more damage added to the board. In fact, it's 3 more, not even counting itself. You know,
Right.
it's just pumping the
Which
other
would be
guys for
lethal
3.
if he had a way to get any blocker or all blockers out of the way, which he doesn't.
Right. Right now, Robin actually has 2 blockers. So
Yeah.
I think.
Now
he's playing
can't
the rejury and he's tapping the Wildwood, so he only actually has
he
1
couldn't
blocker.
activate it anyway.
Oh, you're right. Those are caverns.
Yeah, those are caverns. They do have downside. You know, for all the people that were super bummed about that card, it's not a free roll. I don't think that Josh has a way to get rid of that knight though. He can get in for a bunch of damage, but
He has nothing.
like, why
in
did he
hand at
bother
this point.
tapping that?
I guess maybe he
Play around plow, like to see if because it forces out shores the plowshares.
Yeah, you're
Because he
right.
couldn't even tap the
couldn't
knight,
have.
the Knight of the Reliquary.
I guess he's figuring if I tap. No, I think he should have tapped the knight.
Yeah.
I think if he taps
That's
the knight,
4,
that
8,
might
9,
be game.
10, 11, 12. That would have been 12, right? Am I wrong here?
Okay, so he taps the knight. Robin searches for. No, I'm just saying, like, if he had decided to tap the knight,
So then in response,
Robin could have used it. And does he have like access to a second Dryad Arbor? He does not. I'm just thinking like for a blocker.
well, he could just sack the tapped Savannah and then get a thing to activate the Wildwood.
Oh, is that what you're thinking? Okay.
Yeah, so it was
So that
okay.
makes
And
sense.
also he has Maze of Ith available as well because Josh threw away his Kira.
Okay, so it actually. I mean, neither one was.
Don't you
great.
attack with both knights there? You
Yeah,
just
you
attack with
force
both.
the
You
block.
force him to block both of them. Yeah, I would just attack with both, I think. I mean, he knows his deck better than I do, so these are more me asking questions than me questioning them. You know, like
I think. I mean, Robin is still at 12, right? I mean, is that his correct life total?
Yeah, and it looks like Josh has.
He's got 2 3/3s on board, and okay. Well,
So now he's
some
got
bigger ones, 2 4
even
3
more.
4 4s.
Yeah, so that's 12. Tap something. Say go. Okay, he's gonna eat a creature.
Yeah, I
gain
forgot
a
about
life,
this.
grow the
Scavenging ooze
ooze.
was down there.
Yep.
Okay, apparently our timer.
Timer's
stopped
off a little bit,
by
but
accident.
it's time in the round has
timing
just
the round
been
for these
called.
guys.
So Josh is hanging in there, and I guess looking for a draw here.
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't. If the time was just now, then that means Robin was turn 1. Is that, or was it Josh that was turn 1? You know, the ooze activation happened at the end of Josh's turn. So
Did he just not use his Knight of the Reliquary there?
No, he didn't.
I think that's what that pause might have been.
What's that? Oh, turn 1 is right now.
Robin.
Robin. Okay.
Turn 1 is Robin is what is what
Okay,
we're
that makes
thinking.
sense. Then, yeah, if it was time in the round before, Josh's turn was it was the end of Josh's turn, that was turn 0. So Robin is turn 1. All right, so here comes Ooze and Knight. And looks like Josh says, all right, I'll just jump.
As he must.
Ooze
that
is going to
away.
grow a little bit. Yeah.
Is Ooze up to 5? I thought he did 2 creatures last turn. Did he not attack with that other knight again?
He did not attack with the other knight. He's playing it safe.
I
Maybe
mean,
a little
you
too
just gotta
safe.
be
At this
careful.
point, what are you afraid of? You're at 12. And
I'm not saying that I'm afraid.
Not
but-
you, him.
Oh.
Why is he afraid of
Oh,
attacking
sorry,
with that
yeah.
knight?
Like I feel pretty comfortable.
fine, yeah.
Like you're kind of scary, but not that bad.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, I try to be a little threatening. I'm kind of a short person, so.
You're like one of those menacing. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, I have to present, some sort of threatening.
Well, I'm
sure I
leaning
come
down.
off very, very threatening.
So
I
we're-
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
God, you're tough.
Yeah. So I'm
So-
Joey Pasco here with Marshall Sutcliffe in Seattle.